Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Big Keith, and this video is a video in reference to a post that was published by popular YouTuber Paris Milan. And in this particular post, she gave a financial tip, of which I agree with her the way that it's worded on his face. Now, this financial tip was sent out to all of her subscribers. So for the record, I am a subby of Paris Milan. Now, how did that happen? Well, a while back when she left Dr. Boyce's Watkins channel, she started her own channel, and I listened to her material, and I felt at the time that she was reasonable in her thought process, meaning that she held black men and black women to the same standard. Now, as time went by, her channel became a lot larger. Her talking points, her content became feminist in nature. So I'm not a fan of Miss Paris Milan, not at all. Matter of fact, I don't agree with much that she says at all. However, I'm still a subscriber of hers, and I hope that she continues to do well with her channel, because I'm happy when black people succeed. So now, her financial tip says this. It says, never marry, let alone date a person with significant child support debt, right? So on his face, I agree with her that it doesn't make sense, right? You should not marry a person, and I'm assuming she's talking about man or woman, right, with a significant child support debt. Now, for people such as myself and Rodney, who are learnt in legalese, the word person has a very broad definition. So a person can be an artificial person, meaning like an artificial entity such as a corporation, an estate, a nonprofit. But a person can also be a natural person, which is a man or a woman. Now, of course, we know that a significant child support debt is most likely a man or a woman, right? So again, on his face, I agree with her financial tip. Never marry, let alone date a person, right, man or woman. Now, she really should have used the word individual, but anywho, with significant child support debt. Then she goes on and says, my subby sent me screenshots of upset wives whose stimulus check got snatched due to their husband's child support debt. So based upon the second sentence, we can reasonably assume that in the first sentence, when she said person, she really meant man. Never marry, let alone date a man with significant child support debt. That's really what she's saying. And for her audience, she really means black man with significant child support debt. So again, her subby sent her screenshots of upset wives whose stimulus check got snatched due to their husband's child support debt. Then she goes on and says, we are taught to marry for love and not acquisitions and mergers like many others do. So we can reasonably assume that when she says we are, she's talking about black women are taught to marry for love and not acquisitions and mergers like many other races of women do. So this is the coded message that Paris Milan is telling all of her subscribees, or all of her subbies, as she put it. So let's scroll down and let's take a look at what these women are saying. All right, the first woman said, I filed injured spouse and they took my money for my husband's debt, completely pissed. Then the next woman says, what they need to do is pass a bill for spouse married to people that owed child support shouldn't owe that debt as well, and shouldn't get anything taken out except the one that owes. We and our kids are innocent. I mean, damn, this is some horrible writing. Proofread, please. Ladies, you have to learn how to use punctuation, please. I mean, you can't write how you talk. I mean, shit. Writing is horrible, man. But anywho, the next woman says, same. I'm so mad right now. Like this money is to help people struggling from this pandemic. Student loans and IRS debts weren't affected, so they shouldn't have done this to us. And it's affected with an A, not with an E. The next lady, she says, I'm all for my husband needing to support his other child. No doubt, he made her, he should pay for her, but this money was not meant for that. And then the last lady said, we pay $500 a month. They are 25 and 20, both work, don't live in the house, help them whenever they need. So I am pissed. She don't give them shit, so I am pissed. We have always done for them. She took out child support and he was not even aware of it until he received a letter. This is how he got arrears. Yeah, that is pretty fucked up. The last lady, you know what happened to her and her husband. But guess what, ladies? Cry me a fucking river. You know why? Because now you're dealing with the bullshit that us men been dealing with for centuries. Centuries. You know? At least from the English common law standpoint. Because what you're dealing with is called the doctrine of necessaries. That's what it's called, ladies. And I'm going to read you a definition of the doctrine of necessaries in a second. But let me say this. What you are experiencing, ladies, is what you asked for. Back in the 60s and 70s, women pushed, for this equality movement. I'm a woman, hear me roar. If a man can do it, I can do it. Well, guess what? This is what you're getting today. Get used to it. You know what I mean? Us men, we've been dealing with this shit. So now it's your time to deal with it too. So cry me a fucking river. All right. I like doing that. Now, let's take a look at the definition of the doctrine of necessaries. Now, I highlighted the definition for you. This definition comes from uslegal.com, which is a legal dictionary. It says the necessaries doctrine comes from the English common law duty of a husband to provide for the necessary expenses of his wife and child. Now, just to let you know, over the years, right, within this country, right, especially after the women's movement, the doctrine of necessaries have evolved. Some states, such as my state, the state of Maryland, have abolished it, and they have their own doctrine of how they deal with necessaries. But many other states, I know the state of North Carolina still follows the doctrine of necessaries. However, it has evolved in that a husband is not only the husband's duty to provide for the expenses of the wife and child, it's the wife's duty also to provide for the expenses of the husband and child. Now, I pulled up a case from the state of Maryland because, again, the court that I typically come in contact with is the courts in Maryland as well as the District of Columbia. But I highlighted this quote coming from the highest court, which is the Maryland Court of Appeals here in the state of Maryland. And this quote says, in Maryland, at the present time, the wife is as responsible for her husband's necessities, such as medical expenses, as would the husband be responsible for the wife's necessities. So it's no difference now, ladies. And a necessity is also child support, right? Because it's necessary for the well-being of a child that belongs to the husband or to the wife, right? So child support, medical expense, food, shelter, all of those are necessities and fall under the doctrine of necessaries. So again, ladies, cry me a fucking river. Cry me a fucking river. And I also have a financial tip for you too. Yes, I do, ladies. I have a financial tip for you too. And my financial tip is this. Maybe next year when you file your taxes, maybe you should file, right? Not as married, filing jointly, but maybe you should file as married, filing separately. Because if you do that, if we run across another situation like COVID-19, right, where people are being quarantined and people are out of work, and you get the stimulus check from the federal government the way that they're giving out today here in 2020, then there's a great possibility that you will get your stimulus check. Now, your husband won't, but you will. You will get your stimulus check, right? You should, but he won't. So maybe next year, now that's my tip. That's my financial tip. All right. So you ladies can thank me in the comment section of this video. Next year, maybe you should file married or filing separately. All right. So again, never marry, let alone date an individual, right? Man or woman who has significant child support debt, tax debts, student loans, etc. Because the other spouse is responsible for those debts too. All right. Now again, leave me a comment leave me a comment below. Peace.